Hey guys, Jim here with Grace in the Wild. Now, it doesn't really look like we should be talking about fishing right now, but the truth is, spring is coming soon and we need to start getting our gear ready. So, today we're going to talk about catfish.
Oh, it's a big one. There we go.
Catfishing is one of the most fun things you can do with your family in the spring, summer, or fall. There's a lot of opportunity to catch catfish all over the country, and it's some of the best table fare you can eat. So today what I want to share with you is how to catch, how to clean, and how to cook catfish. So you don't really need anything all that fancy to catch catfish. I recommend a medium to heavy action rod, a good sturdy reel, and some heavy line. In this particular case, we're using some 60-pound braid. It doesn't need to be that big. That's just what I had laying around. These are just some items that I typically use for rigging, especially when I am using something soft like chicken liver for bait. This is a homemade sinker stop. You'll need something to stop the egg sinker from sliding all the way down to your hook. So what I do is I just cut a notch into a toothpick. This is something I actually learned from my grandfather a long time ago. This is before they had all the fancy plastic bait stops and whatnot. So you're just going to take your line with about 12 to 18 inches above your hook, and then you're going to tie this toothpick around the notch, and then you'll make sure that it stays in place. And that's really what the notch is for, is just making sure the line stays in place. Then you're going to tie on your hook, and what I'm doing in this particular situation is I'm just wrapping the line several times, and then I'm going to take my tag in and I'm going to put it down through the loop of the line at the top of the hook. This is a very, very basic but very sturdy and reliable particular knot. This knot will not allow you to improperly tie it. So in other words, when you cinch down just like that on your hook, it's either going to tighten down and cinch, or it's going to slip through. If it slips through, you know you need to retie it. So that's why I like to use that, especially whenever I teach folks that are new or kids how to tie a hook on. That's what I like to use. And when it comes to cleaning a catfish, you want to have a good sturdy set of fillet knives. This is just a set that I grabbed from Bass Pro Shop. It has a 8-inch and I believe a 6-inch fillet knife in it. When you get into the catfish, you're going to start at the top toward the head, and I've sped this up a little bit in the video so you can see just the general idea. Catfish are their bones are very heavy especially when they're bigger. So what you want to do is you want to follow down the backbone. You're not going to cut a fillet like you normally would. What I do is start at the top, and then I'm going to actually lay the meat off of the ribs from the top down. Normally on a fish like a trout or something else, I would completely cut the fillet off and then remove the rib bones. But in this case, I don't want to dull my knife by trying to cut through all those big rib bones on a catfish. So as you can see here, I'm going to start at the top. I'm just going to lay that meat off the ribs until I get down to the belly. Once I get down to that belly meat, then I'm going to cut it off nice and clean. And there you can see that the fillet is almost completely clear from the body. The reason I don't cut into the belly meat, some people will, and I mean, it's really up to you. But what we found is that cutting into that belly meat gives kind of a strange taste to the meat itself. We like that meat that's higher up on the body. Now, once you remove the fillet, what you're going to do is pull the skin toward you as you're cutting. You always want to cut away from yourself when you're doing this so that you don't injure yourself. Then you're going to remove the skin, as you saw there. And then what I'm going to do is, actually, I do like to chill the meat first. This was pretty cold when I was doing this demonstration. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to fillet away all of the red that's on the fillet. That is fat. You can tell a difference between that and the meat, especially the colder the meat is when you go and do this, the better. But I'm going to try to trim away all that red meat because that's going to that's where a lot of your muddy taste is in a catfish. If you've ever heard someone say that catfish is muddy, that's what they're tasting. Someone did not remove all that fat from the fillet. Now once all that's cleared away, then I'm going to start to chunk the meat up for frying. And what you want to do is you want to cut it at an angle so that it has a nice sharp edge. And then I'm going to clean it really well. And then I'm going to go ahead and bag it up for freezing. About your first catfish.
My first catfish, she was hard to catch, and I reeled her in all by myself, and this is her meat. She fought really hard. And
are you happy that you have some meat to use now?
yep.
What are we going to do with all the meat?
Eat it.
How are we going to eat it?
Cook it.
How are we going to cook it?
With breading.
With breading, we're going to fry it up.
Yep.
Okay, fill the bag up. Put them all in there.
Okay.
Cooking catfish is fairly easy, but one thing to remember is when you are frying anything, I like to fry between 350 and 375 degrees with enough oil in the pan to make sure and cover all the fillets. After you've battered with your favorite batter, you just go ahead and put it in there until it's kind of floating. I like to let my temperature get back up to about 350 degrees, and then I'll start to check it and pull it out. Right here I'm using tortilla to make some fish tacos. The batter here makes for a really nice crunch, and the tacos, of course, who doesn't love fish tacos? So hope you enjoyed. Please make sure and click subscribe and the notifications button, and share this video with your friends. We always appreciate seeing more folks at the channel.